Just the whole tournament has meant so much to me over the years. Coming here in 95 for the first time and be able to play as an amateur, winning in 97, and then come full circle 22 years later, be able to do it again. And just the way it all transpired today, there were so many different scenarios that could have transpired on that back nine. There were so many guys who had a chance to win. Leaderboard was absolutely packed, and everyone was playing well. So you couldn't have had more drama than what we all had out there. And to come back here and then to play as well as I did, and did all the things, all the little things well this week, and to do it here. This has meant so much to me and my family, this tournament, and to have everyone here. It's something I'll never, ever forget.
This is clearly one of those monumental days in all of sport when people all around the world will say, where were you when Tiger won his 5th green jacket in 2019?
Well, I know where I was. Had a little 1-foot tap in. So it hasn't sunk in at all. I mean, this is one of those things, it's going to take a little bit of time. And I'm just fresh off of just winning the tournament. And I just can't wait to see how it all unfolded from the TV perspective. I know I was grinding hard trying to chase Francesco today, and then all of a sudden the leaderboard flipped, and there were a bunch of guys up there who had a chance to win, and I hit some of the best shots on that back nine today. I felt like I just flushed it coming home, which was well, that's a nice feeling.
Questions, Jim?
Tiger, congratulations. When you walked off the green,
yes,
and you saw your mom and your children, did you flash back to your dad and the initial win?
Yeah, absolutely. My dad shouldn't have come in 97. I mean, he had heart complications and wasn't supposed to fly, but he flew and came and gave me a putting lesson on Wednesday night, and the rest is history.
Comeback is going to be the word we're always going to think about here. So how would you describe that for yourself? And also the doubts, since some of us who saw you at Torrey 11 years ago, it's a long time now, and the doubts that you could ever do this again.
Well, I had, serious doubts after, what transpired a couple of years ago. I mean, I could barely walk. I couldn't sit, couldn't lay down. I really couldn't do much of anything. Luckily, I had the procedure on my back, which gave me a chance at, having a normal life. But then all of a sudden I realized I could actually swing a golf club again. And I felt if I could somehow piece this together, that I still had the hands to do it. The body's not the same as it was, a long time ago, but I still have good hands. And so that certainly has helped, and I've pieced it together. And next thing you know, if you look at it, my first 14 wins in majors were I had the lead in every one of them, or tied for the lead. To have the opportunity to come back like this, it is probably one of the biggest wins I've ever had, for sure, because of it.
Gary?
Tiger, I don't know if you know, but you broke the streak. I had mentioned to you about winners were in the top 10 last 13 years. You were tied for 11th after the first day. So you broke the streak that you were the last one to do so.
Congratulations to me.
Yes. but you mentioned about the shots you hit coming in. After the tee shot on 11, was there anything that you relied on? Tee shot on 12, drive on 13, 14, 15, tee shot on 16, tee shot on 17, and 18. Was there anything specific that you leaned on?
No, nothing specific, because I felt like that was probably the strongest part of my game all week, was driving. I was able to do that. And yeah, the tee shot 11 was awful. Leaned on it, trying to hit it, trying to flight it a little bit, and it got stuck underneath there. It had a shot. And I just kept saying, if I just sneak out of here with a par, we got a lot of golf left, and we got 2 par 5s, get a bullpen at 14, another one at 17, and anything can happen up 18. And so I just said, just keep plodding along. And then next you know, I see Brooksy make a mistake at 12. Francesco made a mistake at 12. Patrick was making a run up ahead. DJ was making a run. I mean, Xander was making a run. There are so many different scenarios that evolved. And I was looking at the board coming off of 13 green, and then there's 6, 7 guys with a chance to win this tournament. But I just kept telling myself, I have, along with Francesco, we have the most holes to play. So whatever they do, I'll just bury the same holes. Then it's a moot point. At least I birdied 13, I birdied 15 with 2 good shots in there, and almost hooped it at 16. So that gave me the cush. And I kept telling myself on 17, on that tee shot, I said, I've been in this position before. I had a 2-shot lead with DeMarco and went bogey. Let's go ahead and pipe this ball right down the middle. I hit the little flat squeezer out there, and I did, just smoked it. That made par there, and then 18, I said, hey, it's not over yet. Arnold lost a tournament, lost all with a double. So let's keep the hammer down. Brooksy could still make birdie up 18. I can make bogey. We're next thing in winter playoffs. So let's get this ball in play. And I did, and I saw him tap out for par. And that gave me the cush knowing that I could make bogey. And I had a little bit of mud on my golf ball playing that shot. And I said, just make sure I overcut this thing. Don't undercut it. Overcut it to the right. And I did. I whiffed it and hit over to the right, and I was able to put that ball on the green and 2-putt.
Karen?
Tiger, you hadn't had the lead here on a Sunday since you won in 2005. When you had it today, was it like getting back on a bike? It was like you had never, gotten off, or what was that like? What was your comfort level?
It didn't feel unfamiliar because I had the lead at the Open Championship, so it's just two majors ago. So that would be something different if I didn't have the lead from 05. To now, but it was just last year in July that I had the lead, and so I just kept saying, I've been here and wasn't that long ago. Just go ahead and just keep playing your game, keep plodding along, and keep doing all the little things correctly. Keep missing the ball in the correct spots. Be committed to it, even with the winds puffing up and down. Be committed to the shot.
What do you just kind of take from the path that Tiger's been going through with his injuries to get back to where he was?
It's incredible. First to, obviously to win after, 10 years since his last major, or 12. But more importantly, where he was a year, two years ago. He didn't think he'd ever play competitively again. So it's kind of fun for us, I think, to watch other athletes in other sports and watch their determination and their adversity, whether it's Roger Federer playing at such a high level for so long, or Tiger coming back from injury and doing what he did today. I think those are great lessons, and we look at a lot of that stuff with our team because we got tons of sports fans, and it's just fun. It's fun to see other athletes do their thing.
Yeah, we posted that film at 11. I think it started at 11:30 because of Tiger. I mean, it's always good to watch a moment like that. Things like watch history doesn't always come around that often. So you got to watch that and with the team was pretty fun.
Do you get it, the fact that people want to just drop what they're doing to see something like that happen?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be part of history, be included, team included, and to be able to watch something like a comeback story like that is pretty big. That doesn't happen every day, it doesn't happen every year. So to be able to watch it is exciting. Cried. But Andre and them guys are big on golf, and making everybody else have to watch it too. So I mean, it was exciting to watch them win. That was probably my first time actually watching.
Waking up a Masters champion again this morning. His comeback epic, winning his first major tournament since 2008. TJ was just incredible.
Just special. Remember, yeah. Augusta National is where the Tiger legend began. He was a 21-year-old skinny kid when he became the first person of color and the youngest to win the Masters. History came at rapid succession after that. Then it all came crashing down. But only a fall from grace like the one he took could make yesterday as incredible as it was.
The return to glory.
He is back.
The moments don't come any bigger than this.
In one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, Tiger Woods returned Sunday to the pinnacle of golf, winning the Masters, his first major in 11 years.
The completion of one of the great comebacks in any sport.
The Augusta National crowd erupted as Tiger screamed and pumped his fist after securing his 5th Masters win. The former #1 golfer in the world was met by his 10-year-old son, Charlie, who wasn't even born the last time Tiger won a major. Their embrace was reminiscent of the one Tiger shared with his late father, Earl, back in 1997 after Tiger's first Masters win.
It meant so much to me and my family, this tournament, and to have everyone here. It's something I'll never, ever forget.
Tiger, in his signature Sunday red, started the day 2 shots behind the leaders, but gave us vintage Tiger down the stretch.
I am compelled to say, oh my goodness.
The epic victory is one many, including Tiger, thought might never happen after a series of personal and professional setbacks, including a DUI arrest and a cheating scandal that led to a very public divorce. Hampered by surgeries and injuries, at one point his world ranking had fallen out of the top 1,000.
I had, serious doubts after, what transpired a couple of years ago. I could barely walk. I couldn't sit, couldn't lay down. I really couldn't do much of anything.
I don't think things get any more special for me.
The opportunity to come back like this, it is probably one of the biggest wins I've ever had for sure.
So now we're back on track with the talk of him catching Jack Nicklaus at 18. Tiger's at 15 majors now, so now it's within reach. And he was vintage Tiger yesterday. The best of the best, that leaderboard, he had to fight them off. So now the talk is he can make it to Jack.
He had that look in his eye the whole round.
It was something to watch yesterday. It was cool.
It was 18 green. You gave your dad that iconic hug. 22 years later, you walk off and you hug your children. How do you describe what those 2 moments mean?
It's crazy how life just evolves and goes on. 97, my dad wasn't really supposed to be there. Wasn't supposed to travel, but he came. Gave me a little putting tip on Wednesday night and ended up making everything that week. Yesterday, Sam had a soccer game for States, and they didn't make it to the final, so I asked them if they wanted to come up, and I had to talk them into it. And they both came up, and next thing you know, their dad's a Masters champion.
What do you want them to know, and maybe more important, Tiger, to feel about what their dad did today?
Well, they only know me as dad, so they saw all the tough times, and so they didn't realize how much that golf meant to me and in my life and all the good times, because they only saw that golf hurt their dad. Caused him where he couldn't walk, he couldn't swing, couldn't move. But thankfully, the last couple years have certainly evolved and changed. And they've seen the joy that the game of golf brings me. And I've been able to play some of my better golf of late.
2 years ago, you came to the Champions Dinner, you couldn't even play. What did you think your future in the game was then?
At the time, there was no future. I just wanted to be able to walk again. Thankfully, I had a procedure to fix that. Now I'm just stiff. So maybe that's just 43, but it has allowed me to have a normal life again. And from there, I was able to start playing the game. And from there, the momentum just kind of built. And lo and behold, here I am winning another major championship.
So much happened on the second 9 today, so much going on. At what point did you feel you were in control and believe you could win?
Well, once Brooksy made par at 18, so I was in the fairway and I watched him. He tapped in, and I knew the bogey was the winning score. So when I had my shot in there, I had to start the left bunker, and I had a little bit of mud on my ball, and wind was coming off the right. So I'm like, okay, these are all not good things. So let's just try and get out of here with a bogey option par, and overcut it if I had to, which I did. I kind of whiffed it, actually. Hit it right off the toe and kind of fanned it over to the right. But then it was just an easy pitch and 2-putt, and I was going to get the green jacket.
Finally, the longest gap between anyone to win 2 Masters. How do you describe what that gap of 14 years has been?
Well, it's been a lot. A lot has transpired. The body, the game, life, it just all evolves and all moves forward. And so I just remember standing on that 17th tee today, knowing that I had a 2-shot lead at the time. Well, I was in that same position in 05. I had a 2-shot lead with 2 to go, and I went bogey. Let's not do that here. Let's pipe this ball down the fairway, which I was able to do. Put it up on the green, and fortunate that Brooksy went par.
15th major today. 18.
We'll just enjoy 15. How about that? The 15's been a long time coming. A lot has transpired, between then and now, and 11 years. So